Before being set into jewelry, gemstones go through a variety of steps to ensure they're cut and polished in the most efficient way. That means often the stone that you're wearing came from a much larger chunk. Some of these huge, uncut, rough gemstones are mind-blowing, especially as you consider their price. Coming up are 10 of the largest and most expensive gemstones of all time. Let's get started. Number 10. The Empress of Uruguay. At a height of 3.27 meters or 11 feet and a weight of more than 2,200 kilograms or 4,800 pounds, which is 35 adult humans combined, the Empress of Uruguay stands at Crystal Caves Museum in Atherton, Australia as the world's largest amethyst geode. What's a geode, you ask? Simple. It's a geological formation that develops within sedimentary and volcanic rocks. They're hollow, which gives crystal enough space to form inside. For example, this image of a humongous geode with several openings showing thousands upon thousands of amethyst crystals was posted on Reddit. Reddit user Growing T conservatively estimated its value to be around $70,000 based on eBay listings that priced every half square meter of amethyst geodes at $1,500. The truth is, it's likely worth far more due to the fact it's a complete stone. But what about the Empress of Uruguay? Well, way back in 2007, this geode housing tens of thousands of gem-quality amethyst crystal was purchased for $75,000 by Renee and Naleki Boissevain, the founders of the aforementioned Crystal Caves Museum. And while the Empress of Uruguay is currently not for sale, that hasn't stopped people from sending offers as high as $190,000. Number 9. Sunrise Ruby. Let me ask you a question. After a diamond, what's the most expensive gemstone you can think of? Most people answer ruby, and the sunrise ruby is the prettiest of them all. Being the world's most expensive ruby, just how much is it? In May 2015, the 25.59 carat sunrise ruby was sold at a Sotheby's auction in Geneva, Switzerland for a whopping $30.42 million, nearly 3 times more than the $11.8 million starting bid. Carats, in case you didn't know, is the weight of the stone, equivalent to 0.2 grams. But while the sunrise ruby is the priciest ruby of all time, it isn't the biggest of its kind. That title belongs to the Liberty Bell ruby. This gemstone is the largest mined ruby in the world, which didn't become the famous Liberty Bell ruby until 1976, when a sculptor named Alfonso di Vivanco worked on the gemstone for a jewelry company called the Kazanjian Brothers. The ruby was to be sculpted in the form of the iconic Liberty Bell for the United States bicentennial, and while the ruby was already impressive at 1.8 kilograms or 4 pounds, which is 8,500 carats, it was further adorned with 50 diamonds. Since then, the Liberty Bell ruby has been valued at $2 million. Unlike the sunrise ruby, it's impossible to see through it since it's opaque, which is why it's less valuable. However, there's one bigger problem than its clarity. It's nowhere to be found, as it was stolen in November of 2011 at a jewelry store in Delaware. The culprits have been arrested, but the authorities aren't confident they'd find the ruby anytime soon. It's likely been cut up and sold. Number 8. Oppenheimer Blue Diamond. Colored diamonds are widely sought after not only for their rarity and toughness, but also for their sheer brilliance. After all, who wouldn't want a diamond of their favorite color? In the case of blue-colored diamonds, the Oppenheimer Blue is king. Named after its previous owner, Philip Oppenheimer, the blue diamond has 14.62 carats, far larger than 90% of all the blue diamonds that only have a single carat at most. Moreover, it has the highest color rating of Fancy Vivid, given only to the rarest and most outstanding colored diamonds. Weighing nearly 3 grams, the Oppenheimer Blue is the largest vivid blue diamond ever put for auction. In May 2016, it was sold at Christie's in Geneva, Switzerland for $57.5 million, or a staggering $3.93 million per carat, making it the most expensive gemstone per carat and most expensive diamond ever sold for a brief period of time. Number 7. Pink Star Diamond. The Oppenheimer Blue Diamond only had about a year to celebrate as the most expensive diamond ever put up for auction. By April 2017, the Pink Star Diamond took the title when it was sold for $71.2 million at Sotheby's, Hong Kong. This colored diamond weighed 11.92 grams, or half an ounce, and had 59.6 carats, which meant that each carat was valued at $1.2 million. It was actually sold much earlier in November 2013 for a higher price, $83 million. but the buyer, named Isaac Wolf, never gave the full payment, so the pink star was sent back to the inventory. Overall, the pink star diamond is the largest diamond with a vivid pink rating, meaning that it has the highest possible color rating, just like the Oppenheimer blue diamond. But now that it belongs to Hong Kong-based jewelry retailer Chow Tai Fook, you'd have to call it by its new name, the CTF Pink. Number 6. The Pearl. Let me get one thing straight. The pearl isn't a pearl. It's actually a giant stone primarily made of the mineral fluorite. What makes it appealing? Apart from its size, the pearl also glows green in the dark. So imagine having a natural glow-in-the-dark structure in your property. One that's 1.5 meters tall and weighs 5,443 kilograms, equivalent to 12,000 pounds or nearly 88 adult human beings. Still, you'd need a bit of money, about 110 million. After all, this humongous stone, first discovered in Inner Mongolia, needed 3 years of cutting and polishing before it could become the pearl-shaped giant it is today. You might be wondering who'd want a large green ball, but remember that China loves green-colored gemstones like this more than diamonds. Plus, in Buddhism, luminous stones are also known as chintamani, jewels that help believers attain the wisdom of Buddha. Number 5. Myanmar Giant Jade Stone. Speaking of China's love for green, take a look at this huge jade stone. If you didn't know, the translucent and rare imperial green jade is worth more per gram than diamonds in China. That's why all eyes were on the state of Kachin, Myanmar, when a giant jade stone was uncovered in a remote mine in October 2016. According to the BBC, the 4.3 meter tall jade stone was worth around $170 million. Just how big is the jade stone? It's 4.3 meters high, 5.8 meters long, and weighs a whopping 175,000 kilograms, equivalent to 380,000 pounds, or as heavy as 32 adult Asian elephants. With its size, it can easily be used to produce thousands of jewelry and sculptures. In fact, the giant jade stone was immediately imported to China after its discovery. The huge stone might not look impressive now, but extensive cutting and polishing will eventually reveal the high quality and vibrant green gemstones. Number 4. Star of Atom Blue Star Sapphire. The Oppenheimer blue diamond isn't the only rare blue gemstone on this list. The oval-shaped Star of Atom is the largest sapphire in the world, weighing 1,404.49 carats, or 280.89 grams, which is 0.6 pounds. And even if its blue shimmer doesn't have a color rating unlike the pink star and the Oppenheimer blue diamond, the Star of Atom is already more expensive than both of them. Found in the so-called City of Gems of Ratnapura in Sri Lanka in August 2015, the minimum estimated value of the Star of Atom is already $100 million, with the anonymous owner saying it's worth $300 million. Luckily for everyone, there's a good chance it will be open for viewing in the future. According to the owner, the Star of Atom isn't a piece of jewelry, but an exhibition piece, so they are currently searching for a museum or gem collector. Number 3. Bahia Emerald. Looks like green is the dominant color here as I introduce you to the Bahia Emerald. While it's only the 4th largest gemstone in terms of size, it's still one of the largest emeralds ever discovered. Found in Bahia, Brazil, the emerald weighs 341.101 kilograms, which is 750 pounds, or 1.7 million carats. And no, you didn't hear that wrong. The Bahia Emerald contains 1.7 million carats. The value of the Bahia Emerald has ranged from a low of $250 million to a high of $925 million, and its true value remains unknown. But it's been valued at $400 million for quite some time now. Amusingly enough, for such a rare gemstone, the Bahia Emerald was once put on eBay with a buy it now price of just $75 million. In addition, the gemstone has gone through a lot in the past. It was almost washed away during Hurricane Katrina in 2005 in New Orleans. Then it was stolen from a vault in South El Monte, Southern California in 2008. Lastly, there was a legal battle over who really owns the $400 million emerald, with FH Holdings currently having exclusive ownership as of 2015. Number 2. Guinness Emerald. While this emerald doesn't have 1.7 million carats, its 1,759 carats are enough to place its value at $500 million. That's $500 million for an uncut stone weighing 351 grams. Discovered at the Cascuez mine in Colombia, the Guinness Emerald is now owned by Fura Gems and is on exhibit in the Bank of the Republic of Colombia. Now, before I unveil the most expensive gemstone in the world, let me acknowledge a few other stones that are worth mentioning. First up, check out this massive chunk of quartz in Arkansas. The photo went viral on Reddit and was described as a $4 million chunk of quartz, but the real value is slightly less, at $3.5 million. The smiling man you see is no visitor. He's actually part of the team who spent 4 days extracting the 2.43 meter long, 907 kilogram chunk of quartz. Another worthy mention is the Golden Jubilee, a black opal valued at almost $6.8 million and is the largest Australian black opal ever found. It was bought by opal specialist Tibor Shelley in Lightning Ridge in 2004, and the Golden Jubilee weighed 755.36 carats, with each carat valued at a minimum of $9,000 each. Speaking of Australia, there's also the $2.5 million 17,000 carat Olympic Australis opal, found in 1956 and named in honor of the Olympic Games in Melbourne at the time. Moving on, it wouldn't be a complete list if I didn't show off the largest aquamarine in the world. Discovered in Minas Gerais, Brazil, about 26 years ago and named after the first emperor of Brazil, the Dom Pedro aquamarine was the largest of 3 pieces found in the mine. It originally weighed almost 27 kilograms before it was cut and polished. Now the Dom Pedro aquamarine is almost 35 centimeters tall and weighs 10,363 carats, or around 2.26 kilograms, which is 5 pounds. The beautiful stone is valued at $5 to $6 million. Number 1. The Cullinan Diamond. A captain named Frederick Wells discovered this magnificent beauty at the Premier mine in South Africa way back in January 1905. It was so big he thought it was just a shard of glass placed in the mine wall as a practical joke. But upon taking it out, he realized that it was indeed one massive diamond. It was then named after the owner of the mine, Sir Thomas Cullinan. Soon after, the Cullinan Diamond was bought for $750,000 by the Transvaal colony government, which is equivalent to nearly $19 million today, once adjusted for inflation. Here's the funny thing. Prime Minister Louis Botha suggested for the diamond to be given as a present to King Edward VII. The majority voted against it, but that didn't stop British Prime Minister Sir Henry Campbell Bannerman from offering the Cullinan Diamond to the king. It took the persuasive skills of Winston Churchill for King Edward VII to accept the gift and have it presented to him on his 66th birthday on November 9, 1907. So how much is it today? Well, with an estimated price of more than $2 billion, this is the one diamond to rule over all other gemstones. Otherwise known as the Star of Africa, this white diamond weighs 621.35 grams, which is 1.36 pounds or 3,106.75 carats, which means that each carat is worth at least $643,000. Today, the Cullinan Diamond is divided into 9 large stones and 96 smaller fragments, all of which are available for public viewing at Buckingham Palace and the Tower of London. So what would you do if you found one of these gemstones? Sell it or keep it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.